Overall stats, average of over 59 or 10 hundreds and 60 odd innings. If he gets 98 more today, he'll be second fastest batsman ever to get to 3,000 mark in one days.
And he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing.
3,000 mark in one days.
Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing.
Do ask yourself,
look at thinking. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself, look at thinking. So much. Fakhar Zaman's moment of madness, and he's always good to watch. Aesthetically pleasing. Do ask yourself.
Threw mid off. And then
पार हो जाओगे बहुत रोकते क्यों नहीं हमें इन्हें रोकने टोकने से रुक जाता है सीखना सिखाना इसीलिए हम
इन्फिनिक्स के ऑन ग्रिड इन्वर्टर से इजाफी बिजली नेशनल ग्रिड में शामिल करके नेट मीटरिंग के जरिए अपना मीटर उल्टा चलाएं और बिल घटाएं। इन्फिनिक्स।
ये लो बिरयानी बड़ी तेजी से बनाए निकलेंगे तेजी से नया सर्फ एक्सेल 100% मुश्किल दाग निकाले ज्यादा तेज
Shipyard actually down in the West Country of England. That's a view and a half from Spider Cam. I've never seen that. It turns our media centre into into almost a floating vessel, not at sea but in mid-air. So this is Spider Cam. The media centre was made in a shipyard actually down in the West Country of England. When it was approved by committee in the late 90s, nobody thought it would get through. But in fact, it was a lot of the more senior committee members that voted for it, seeing the potential of a structure that would contrast so completely with the main pavilion, a listed building itself, and how well it's worked.
Iconic. Bit like run out from Jonty. Right, he'd driven Imran Tair beautifully down the ground, and he plays that shot from same angle. The mind explodes. He trying to be cheeky for a guy who can offer so much through the offside and the leg side. Really, to go for that cheeky shot really wasn't required, and especially that Imran Tair is quick through the air, so you had to be in control, in position early. No flight for him.
Well, yeah, the great thing there was you could see how easily he could execute the drive, and therefore how complicated it looked to execute the paddle reverse flip sweep scoop. 89 for 1.
Almost a full house. A lot of Pakistani fans in, hoping against hope that team can create a bit of magic for them. Every time they get a good start, a good score is on the cards. Let's see what happens.
Lungingidi back into the attack and on the mark straight away. One of the things that a World Cup does, and ICC promote cricket for good, but within the soul of the players themselves is the spirit of the game. The spirit of the game is a reference. It's a reference to friendship and favour, to respect of cricket, of yourself and of your opponent, and of understanding that losing takes some doing. Tremendous scenes at the end of that match.
It's a great sport where losing can make heroes as well. And there's an example for you, Brathwaite, with a breathless innings.
But here's the key, isn't that cricket turning it full circle? There's a man who in the World 2020 final was a hero with brutal hitting. So the same sort of journey with the bat, brutal hitting, gets so close and in the end is so far, and when he hits his knees, he's doing so in agony, not in the ecstasy that he found in Calcutta. Cricket, the game that constantly jumps up to bite you. When it pleases you, it's hard to explain the extent of the pleasure. You put so much into cricket that when you triumph, it feels so very special. Equally, when it just doesn't go for you, you feel so very painful.
A great game of cricket. Magnificent game of cricket. He almost nailed it. Even a half hit from Brathwaite carries the ball over the rope.
Looked like he got it just a little high on the bat, spliced it ever so slightly, and so it was a question of his strength as much as his timing, whereas all those other sixes were so sweetly struck. It's a brave ball to bowl, wasn't it, to bang it into the pitch? I wonder if that was just a nervous ball rather than exactly what he intended.
What a catch by Bolt. Inches away from glory, West Indies were. Inches. This is good cricket from South Africa. So Fakhar Zaman has been removed. There's a bit of pressure now being exerted. Few dots. Let's see how Pakistan react to few dots. It's all about breaking the rhythm of batting. And good teams tend to do that.
Giddy bowling with good wheels, not super quick, but he's certainly hitting the bat very hard. 90 for 1. Quentin de Kock is unusual in that he wears his leg guards inside his trousers. I can't think of another wicketkeeper in the tournament who's doing that. Wicketkeepers use pads outside their trousers, or tracksuit bottoms, whatever you want to call them, their kit. There was a reminder there about the power plays for people who not necessarily full-time cricket watchers. There are 3 periods of power play during which certain fielders are allowed inside or outside of the inner ring, a 30-yard circle around the playing pitch. That's why we keep putting that graphic up, just to say which power play we're in. This is the second power play. No more than 4 fielders are allowed outside that inner ring.
And it's quite interesting how teams tackle the situation of different rules that come into play at different stages of the game. Some teams will go hard, others will just milk the singles, not worry about hitting boundaries, but just recouping a bit after that initial burst with the bat in the first 10. Babar off to a slow start here. All he has to do is to just rotate the strike, keep it simple.
They bowled really straight at him. He's had to play almost every ball. 9 of them now for just a single. Hasn't been able to work one where the spaces are square. The field is perfectly set straight. Good little sort of vignette here of a fine player. Not quite able to break away. There's a single, but nothing more. So he'll retain the strike. 19 gone. It's 92 for 1. .38 wickets in World Cup matches for Imran Tahir. Level with Alan Donald, who played 5 more matches. Sean Pollock 31 from 31. Morne Morkel 26 from 14. And Dale Steyn 23 from 14. So sad that Dale isn't a part of this tournament anymore. Came out with the South African side. They hoped to get him fixed up and ready to play by the midpoint of the tournament. It wasn't to be. I don't know if that did that glance Imran. It was nicely timed by Babar Azam. He just seemed to be stinging a bit somehow. Anyway, he's okay. Midday here in London. A little haze over the place. It was bright at first thing. Weather forecast very good for the coming week and matching the sparkling cricket played yesterday and at the moment today. One more look at this graphic as everybody around the world joins us, and I was mentioning Imran Tahir's good effort to be top of that list in 5 fewer matches than Alan Donald. Dale Steyn is the real loss to the tournament. If he's at home watching, we miss you. Great cricketers are few and far between, and the word is certainly correctly applied to Dale Steyn.
4 magnificent fast bowlers in that list. Imran Tahir, the leggy then. Oh, glorious. Through the offside, on the up, square driving it beautifully. Worth the wait, I said.
Isn't Babar Azam an efficient looking player? There's no great flourish. He gets in the right position, nails it. He is a joy to watch.
When you see him bat like this, or hit a shot like that, you're convinced that he's made for stardom.
Rummies were one ball short of 20 overs. If Pakistan had been offered 100 for 1 off 20, having won the toss and chosen to bat, would they have taken it?
Gladly, absolutely, without an issue, without a problem. 50+ opening partnership. Whenever they get that kind of start, you know that they are in business, because it relaxes the batting order, the middle order.
Bowled, very good. Indeed, looking strong today. 97 for 1.
Calling everyone in Wolverhampton. Come to Pepe's and try Pepe's Chicken Rice. Tantalizing strips of grilled chicken, finished in a flavour of your choice. Visit us in Wolverhampton. Love fresh, love tasty, love Pepe's.
Shack Specialist Cars. Living the dream, driving the dream.
We would change in the commentary box. A quality attack has arrived. Sean Pollock and Wasim Akram.
Wes, I've got the media end. You're going to have to come from the pavilion end.
My favourite end, Sean.
Okay, good.
You contain, I get the wickets.
Sounds like a plan. Imran here, he does both. He gets wickets and contains for South Africa. Once again, introduced into the attack. Who's the man to strike? Tahir.
He has been very consistent from South Africa, isn't he? In one-day cricket and in T20.
Yeah, he's been amazing, particularly in those middle overs.
They're going to settle for one. I had the privilege to work with him during PSL a couple of years ago. Loved his attitude, loved his passion. Imran Tahir, I'm talking about, and he's a brilliant wicket-taking bowler. That's him.
Oh, he's got another one. Brilliant catch from Imran Tahir. Unbelievable. He's off on his run, and so he should be. That was sensational.
Unstoppable. He surprised himself. What an effort from Imran Tahir. What a catch. He was firmly hit. Charge, and look at this. Kept his eyes on the ball. Unreal. Look at the excitement, and then look at the celebration.
Pure passion from Imran Tahir. He's got his second of the day. 3.3 overs, 2 for 10, and he's starting to turn this match towards South Africa. Imran's innings of 44 comes to an end. Pakistan now 98 for 2.
Introducing new Aviva Plus car insurance. We've cut down the questions, so you get a quick quote, not a quiz. Come direct to aviva.co.uk.
Smile, you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying?
Every car that leaves our testing facility isn't only tested for how it responds to the road, but how you respond to it. The all-new Mazda 3.
If you just smile.
Mohammad Hafiz, he'll be in at number 4. Pakistan were going along swimmingly. 81 without loss. And they've got themselves to 98 for 2. It's been the Imran Tahir factor.
2 for 10 in 3.3 overs. That's why he's so dangerous and consistent with his performance in round time. He gives you wickets in the mid overs in 1 day. Not just today, almost every game. Hafiz, Mohammad Hafiz is in, the most experienced batsman in Pakistan's squad today.
.84 and a 46 for him, his best scores. And really hoping to contribute again. Important that they just solidify things. Plenty of experience. You can see 38 years of age. He's playing against the most experienced player for South Africa, Imran Tahir, who's nearly 40. Decent average, wonderful strike rate in this World Cup so far.
South Africa got 6 fielders inside the circle. Slip in place as well. They've got 2 wickets already in quick session.
Straight away, he's straight. He asks a lot of questions as Imran Tahir is always wicket to wicket. Here's that catch. He's got to move off the pitch, but he doesn't. He goes nice and low. He's off on his celebration. Reaction time, he wouldn't have had much time to react. One-handed grab, brilliant. And then he's off. He probably ran about 125 meters. Second delivery.
Every time he gets a wicket, he runs about 100 meters.
It's interesting to see second delivery, using his feet down the wicket to Tahir, trying to upset his length. One run and a wicket off that over. Brilliant from Tahir. Pakistan 98 for 2. Pakistan will be a little bit disappointed after that good start. They've lost 2 wickets quickly.
Yeah, all the hard work they did. The openers 81. On 81 they lost the first wicket, 44 to 57, and Fakhar 44 of 50 deliveries. So now both these batsmen now have to start again. Obviously, as you all know, in this format, partnership, that matters. So they're going to start it again. Babar and Hafiz, slip in place.
44 is the unlucky number of the day. That's just the 11th run in the last 5.1 overs for Pakistan. Plenty of activity on the nursery ground. Some people playing the music. I don't know if that's traditional music, but the Pakistan supporters are enjoying it.
It's definitely a traditional dance. They love it. They come with a lot of friends, family. They enjoy. They're noisy. Obviously, that's the way they should be. Love their passion when they come and support their own team. Not just in London, all over England.
And we saw their last 5 overs, 2.4 to the over. So South Africa starting to claw themselves back into this match. Nicely fielded for Van der Dussen at a short mid-wicket. This is the attempt by du Plessis to attack. He's got a man at short mid-wicket. He's got a man at first slip. Very close to the bat.
That what happens when you lose a couple of quick wickets in this format in one-day cricket. That both the batsmen have to start their innings again. Scoreboard looks good, 99 for 2. We're into 22nd over.
Flicks it away to the leg side and brings up the 100 for Pakistan.
122nd over, 2 wickets down.
Classed as a shared session, those 10 overs, 39 runs, 1 wicket lost. Drawn session of 10.
So Sean, as you know, it can be difficult for a new bowler or a young bowler.
This is the overs 11 to 20, 39 for 1. That was judged not out, much to the disappointment of South Africa. It's the celebration of the Pakistan locals. Pakistan giving it innings away on 44, premeditated shot, and a couple of more boundaries to end that session. That's beautifully put away. It's a slight drag down. An absolutely class shot from Babar.
Really is a brilliant shot from Babar Azam. He was slightly short, but he's such a good player. Shift of the weight to the back foot, played between mid-wicket and mid-on. A very difficult shot to play against pace, for sure.
Yeah, it's difficult when you're a bowler and you're bowling to someone who's that quickly onto the pickup pull. So you can't miss your length. He's onto it in a flash, and that was pure class by Babar Azam. To show you that it's not a mistake and you can play off the front foot as well. Punch down the ground.
That's why he's so exciting to watch, with his balance and the way he plays. 108 for 2. Look at this, with the full face off the bat. The dawn one little wider, obviously, but that's Babar Azam for you.
He's disappointed, struggling again today. 6 overs, 0 for 41. Du Plessis brought him back into the attack, thinking he could maybe pick up another wicket. Not to be. 5 bowlers that have been used by South Africa so far.
What a spell from Tahir. 4 overs, 10 runs, 2 wickets.
It can't be long before Petlakwa is brought back into the attack. I don't know if we'll see a bit of marker maybe as well. Pakistan will have to be watchful against Imran here. He's been the man who's struck for South Africa. Traditional dance as well, Wes?
I think so. And a lucky mascot. Another single. That's a good play against him. There's no point taking risks against Imran Tahir. Just rotate the strike. Get 4-5 and over if you can. And maybe in a couple of overs you'll hit him a boundary. But don't give your wicket to their main bowler, the main wicket-taking bowler.
Oh, was that a little edge? I think that could be put down. The way Tahir has reacted and Quinton de Kock would suggest there was a little edge involved. There was a slip in place. It was a risky shot to try and knock it behind square on the offside. And definitely big edge. Here's a moment for South Africa.
Massive edge. And you were spot on. Not a great show to play against Imran Tahir. Play on front foot. Play straight with the straight bat. That's it. Lucky there. Hafiz.
Quinton de Kock, that's his technique that he uses. His body goes to the leg side and he almost frees up his hands to be able to move back. On that occasion, the edge thick enough to take it to the outside edge of the gloves. But there has been 2 wickets so far. There's a bit of a donation for Fakhar Zaman. And then Imran al-Haq will be disappointed, but brilliance, absolute brilliance from Imran.
What a start. Imran Tahir. Only 4 runs from the over. And now it's 5 runs from the over. Are they going to come back for 2? Yes, they're coming back for 2. Good running this between Babar and Hafiz. 6 runs on the over, 23 gone, 114 for 2.
We'll have to see if 44 is the unlucky number of the day. 2 men have fallen on that score. So there is a change of bowling, and Ndile Patlakwa, 2 overs, naught for 9, is being brought back into the attack. Change of end for him. He'll be coming from the pavilion end now. We'll be hoping that he can string a couple of good deliveries together.
To the third man, Patlakwa. He's not a very quick bowler. He's 127 to 125, 230, 30 per hour, but a lot of variations in bowling. Back of hand, slow cutters, slow bouncer. Run rate is 4.96 for Pakistan. They need a partnership. This is worth 17 of 16. Babar Azam is looking good, in tremendous form. 20 of 24, plays some excellent shots in this brief inning so far.
Worked away. This could find its way to the boundary. Rabada gives chase. Cut it off. And they're going to be back comfortably for the third in the end. Lords is just a wonderful place to play cricket.
I honestly get goosebumps. It's an absolutely special place. I think the place has got an amazing aura about it. I've been here for 12 years now, and it still feels like my first year. It's absolutely amazing to be a part of it, and I absolutely love it.
Good lunches here as well, Wes.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Oof. Do you remember the lunches, the amount of food and the variety in their menu?
Probably the best in the world. That's why Mark Gatting used to play here for so long.
That was the only reason, you reckon? Good lunch?
Yeah, it was especially when you went into the dressing room. I mean, often you go in and there's a choice of maybe 2 possible dishes. You used to have like a menu. It's like, what do you want? We'll make it for you first hand. Loved the showers here as well. Oh, you felt like you were being drowned in those showers. Special.
Yeah, what a place to play cricket, this Lords. The house of cricket, as we call it.
There's the field. We're starting 23 metres. By the time the ball's delivered, they're about 20 away. Trying to cut down the angle. A lot of the stands have been redeveloped. Traditional pavilion stays and will never be altered.
Changed a lot since I played in 1987, my first test match here against England. For better, obviously. It's a different feeling when you come to Lords as a player or as a spectator.
It's the new Warner stand. A lot of its traditional paintings on the walls.
And the famous long room where you walk out of it when you come out to bat or to bowl as a team or as an individual. All these famous painters are there. Good art collection.
Not too many of the members in today, but you walk down that left-hand passage and then you work your way onto the ground. Oh, it's the thin edge and it'll get its way to the boundary. Fortunate boundary, wanted to whack it square of the wicket, but he gets the result he's after, Baba. Bit of width from Patlakwa.
Much needed boundary for Pakistan, 125 for 2. This was a little wide, got the edge, but in the end he got the desired result, the boundary. There was no slip fielder, so sensible cricket from Babar. He's on the 25 off, 26, almost run a ball. He needs to score big today, Babar. He's looking good, played some exceptional shots already in his brief innings.
He's a fantastic player. Admired his efforts on the last tour of South Africa. His facts and figures are brilliant to look at as well. 125 for 2.
Open table, open table, open table, open table. And Open Table.
With over 50,000 restaurants worldwide, Open Table helps you find the right restaurant for anything, every time. Reserve your table on Open Table.
The Casper mattress, delivered in a box. Developed by a dedicated engineering team. Dreamt on by you. Try it for 100 nights, risk-free at casper.com.
Dave Richardson, outgoing CEO of the RCC. Got a strong arm, Morris, but he won't prevent them coming back comfortably for the second. Well run by Hafiz.
I'm not so sure about Hafiz that he was comfortable running for second. He struggled a bit, but in the end they got 2 runs.
An important spell this from Imran Tahir. He's bowled all 5.5 overs from the nursery end. You've got to be wary of cutting him, don't you?
Yeah, another good delivery, a quicker one.
Slides it on so well straight, and it's very difficult to pick up in the action.
You can see the ball, it's a flipper. Flipper means a straight delivery and slightly quicker than the normal.
It's a bit of a freebie, but it might bring about a wicket. No, over the head of Lungi Ngidi. It's a very small boundary. You've got to whack it up the hill. But it was a bit of a gift, low full toss. And Hafiz takes full value.
He got really lucky there, Hafiz. Remember, he got out with a full toss against Australia. Similar fashion, but this time it went for maximum. Big relief for Hafiz. That was his first boundary of his innings.
That stage he's going, get up, get up, get up. Just over Ngidi, who was a valiant effort by the big man. I thought maybe, just maybe, he's going to get a gift of a wicket. This could be close. This could be a review. Quick discussion. Imran Tahir is not even discussing with the captain. He's just turned around and said, yes, I want to have a look.
Directed from third umpire, play review for WW. Original decision was not out. Can we start front foot, please? Thank you. Thank you. That's fair delivery. Front on spin, please. Rolling through. Okay, thank you. Appears to be no bat. Risk of Ultra to confirm that. Thank you. Keep running through, running through, run through. Yep, no bats. Ball treatment available, please. Thank you, Kevin. Here we go, Kumar. Pitching outside off. Impact is in line. Wickets missing. Get you back on screen, you can stay with your original decision of not out.
Missing the top of the stumps, 133 for 2.
.133 for 2, a good break, a lucky break from Hafiz. Not a great shot selection at this stage of the game. He just hit the boundary before, and then he went again for this long sweep. He missed the flipper, got outdone by Imran Tahir, but he was very, very lucky there, Sean.
So South Africa lose their review. It's nicely cut off by Quentin de Kock. A bit too close to him for Baba Azam. I was very surprised. I didn't think that was going over the top. It would have been given out tummy before wicket. But I suppose when he plays that shot and you get a massive stride down the wicket, it could be going over the top.
Yeah, he was quite ahead from the crease, about 1.5 meters, and with the crease about 3 meters, I reckon. Straight to the fielder, good effort. He was firmly hit from Babar Azam. 133 for 2 now, Pakistan. But Hafiz is such an experienced player. He's the most experienced player in this playing 11 today. He hit a 6, so why take a risk the ball after? Just rotate the strike, take a single.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise. Imran Tahir, no surprise, he went straight upstairs. It looked good from his perspective. The captain, Faf du Plessis, was at long on, so he didn't even have time to discuss with him. He just said, no, let's send this upstairs. 3-dot balls. Ramesh Raja, what you got for us?
Yeah, I've got Imran Tahir for you guys, and he's crafty, he's so good to watch, and very accurate against the left-hander. Look at where he dropped the ball in that zone. 3 dots in a row, and that prompted that footwork from the left-hander. Came out of the crease, and at 40, less than a second to react to that blinder. Fantastic. And then he's off again at 24 kilometers an hour, that sprint, for celebrations. And so he's miserly, he's so good. He bowls dots. 45% he averages as dots when he's bowling a spell, and that's where he gets all those wickets.
That's why he's one of the most dangerous bowlers in world cricket, especially in the middle overs, because the way he bowls with his variation, like you said, very crafty.
And as Rami said, the dot balls are the ones that build the pressure. It makes the batsman try something different. I'm still interested to know how far he ran on his celebration. I reckon it was about 100 meters. Quentin de Kock took his glove off, threw it on the ground, and he almost made contact with the ball before he picked it up. He throws the glove down. It almost gets to the glove before he gets his hand on it.
There.
So very good over from Pat Laquire. 1 run from it, 134 for 2.
Lords, if you see yourself on the big screen and you need to make as much noise as possible, the biggest celebration, please, is the ball stack. Make it large.
Manhattans tell a good story. From overs 9 to about 21, South Africa started to get back into the contest. 2 wickets, limiting the scoring rate. After that, since Hafiz has been at the crease, he's helped things. A lot of those overs were the ones bowled by Tahir. It's been the key for South Africa. 2 for 24. Nearly had a third one in the last over.
What a spell from Imran Tahir. Another good delivery, good line, good length, a bit of break. Oh, the great man himself, Mr. Callis, is here playing a lot of golf around, this boy.
Jakes enjoys his golf now. Every opportunity.
What a player he has been for his country, Yak Kallis, the all-rounder, wickets. You talk about runs under pressure, you talk about catches, dream cricketer.
Yeah, brought some nice balance to the South African unit. Always had that luxury of the extra bowler. Man who's contributing a lot of runs. Imran Tahir. world's greatest. Could well be. Look at those figures. 328 matches, averaging 44, 273 wickets.
Yeah, definitely the world greatest all-rounder. 27 gone, 136 for 2.
Leading wicket takers with regards to wrist spinners in the tournament, Imran Tahir, 10 wickets for South Africa. He's a special performer. .136 for 227 overs gone. Tahir leading wrist spinner. And to hand over to two new commentators before the off-spinner Aidan Markram comes into the attack, Pami Mbangwa and Ramiz Raja.
Thanks, Sean. A good little period in the second 10 overs for South Africa. Pakistan got out the blocks like a train, and wasn't good bowling by South Africa. Unable to deal with that slope, the opening bowlers. And down the hill a lot for 4.
Barry Richards is in the house. Former South African great. So the run rate has dropped down to 5 at one stage, 6.5. Mike Gatting is here as well. Played for Middlesex. Played for England, captain England.
Jack Callis right there on the right, flipping his back to us.
Problem with the music. There's never a problem with music.
I was going to say, not your particular type of music, is it? Just trying to listen to what's actually playing.
If you can't cut out the music, then just lower the volume. Somebody, please. Well, the fans seem to be loving it.
Some Maroon 5. Oh, there you go. It's gone now.
Sanity at Lord's. It's still going, I believe.
Can't have that.
He's a very good player of spin bowling, Hafiz. I just hope that he's not looking at the scoreboard, because when you're under pressure, you looking to score runs, get to a milestone, and that can disrupt the natural flow. Got to feel free, Pakistan. I think they've still got plenty of options available with the bat after a very good start here.
He's smart as a bowler, as Markram. He doesn't necessarily turn it a great deal, but with a batting mindset, he's able to second guess and try and be ahead of the batsman.
Oh, that's well fielded. That really is well blocked. He's what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yep, but lucky, because I think he slips here and then has to put in the dive there. The slip comes in and then he has to, from his knees, dive to then get to it. A smile. Oh, I tell you, heart in mouth.
A lighter moment like that can relax you as a fielding side. Good that he saw the lighter bit of it. How's he doing in the field? +3 in the inner round. Fantastic. It's beautifully bowled on the pads generally, just to keep the batsman quiet and drag this run rate down further. 138 for 2. Anything that South Africa need to do at this stage, Pommy?
I think it's been a good comeback by them, and Tahir particularly good that they had to get over the disappointment of the call whilst things were going so badly for them. Ball disappearing to all parts just when they thought they got the breakthrough, went against them. Have managed to come back from that.
Started off as a clear day, and then it's become a bit hazy in the last hour and a half, hour, 60 minutes.
Just as long as it doesn't rain.
Petlakwayo is on in again. A lot of big stars have graced the occasion here at Lord's. Some of the finest of the game are here. Long way from home, Barry Richards. And he features in the long room at Lord's as well with Clive Lloyd and Sir Richard Hadley. Big names in the early 70s, 80s. Barry played a lot of county cricket here in England. That's going down the leg side, will not be given. South Africa do not have a review.
Yeah, it's also a little bit high, to be fair. Yeah, it just seems to climb up the hill. Too much seam movement after it hits the pitch. It's pleading, Petlakwayo. Yeah, good period this for South Africa.
There's a shot mid-wicket in place, strategically placed for Hafiz. He likes to work the ball with his wrist, so that's a very good spot for Hafiz. The ball can stop a bit as well. No reviews available, and that would have gone on to miss the stumps. Amla is there at short mid-wicket. It's a good attacking position for Hafiz. He's hitting the bat hard length from the medium pacer.
Important game for him in trying to come back in. He's normally very good, and in their previous game against New Zealand he didn't have the best game with ball in hand. That's how far Amla is, 14-15 meters. It's pretty close. And that's because Hafiz hits the ball in the air on that leg side. It sometimes doesn't control it, likes to play leg side.
What happens is when you don't pick the variation, the slow ball, the off cutter or the leg cutter, you are a little early into that flick, and you can easily hold out as a result of a top edge. So it's a run saving and a wicket taking position, that shot mid-wicket for Hafiz. Will it work? Can it work though?
Yeah, some batsmen look onside for that single and just close the face, and here Petlakwayo is asking Hafiz to look the other side, which is not preferred. Doesn't like to just open the face, try and get one.
Excellent over so far. It's the end of the over, in fact. 139 for 2.
Ultra-high definition. So your family is like rich?
We're comfortable. The widest range of TV in Ultra HD on Sky Q.
So when the runs dry up, you tend to do that also. Try to hit the ball a little too hard. From smooth to muscle. Hashim Amla got napping a bit. Napping, are you? Excellent stuff from Markram. Quick through the air, limiting the excess of the batsman through the offside, through the leg side as well. We haven't seen a lot of sweep shots attempted. That could be a good option available. Round the stumps, in no danger of being given out leg before. Ball is not spinning. Here was a chance. It's a wide. Tried something different here. Maybe more rest or less of the first finger.
Yeah, I was on about how he's ahead in his mind. These are predicted scores 265 at 6 and over from here.
एक को धोएंगे आपके पाउडर से, दूसरे को नए एरियल से। नया एरियल डबल एक्शन फॉर्मूला के साथ, जिसके ज्यादा हरे जर्रात सख्त दाग बेहतर निकाले सिर्फ एक धुलाई में।
PSO Blaze 4G, जिसका 3D Protect फीचर है, इंजन, क्लच और ट्रांसमिशन को एडवांस प्रोटेक्शन। PSO, आगे बढ़ने की आदत।
हो जाए मुकाबला। एक को धोएंगे आपके पाउडर से, दूसरे को नए एरियल से। नया एरियल डबल एक्शन फॉर्मूला के साथ, जिसके ज्यादा हरे जर्रात सख्त दाग बेहतर निकाले सिर्फ एक धुलाई में।
सुपर द होंड पाकिस्तान।
अब 6 GB पे जीतो गारंटी 6 GB मोर। स्टार 336 हैश मिलाओ और छक्के पे छक्का लगाओ।
नई जनरेशन को पता है कि अचीवमेंट की खुशियों को बड़ा कैसे बनाते हैं, जिंदगी को आगे कैसे बढ़ाते हैं। नई ऑल्टो 660 सीसी, नई जनरेशन की गाड़ी।
हमारा डॉलर्स इन्वर्टर एसी पूरे 30,000 रुपए की बचत देता है सालाना, क्योंकि डॉलर्स रिलायबल है।
Zong 4G लाया एक एक्साइटिंग ऑफर, फेसबुक के तमाम फीचर्स नॉन स्टॉप, सिर्फ 50 रुपए प्लस टैक्स में। बस स्टार 250 हैश मिलाएं। Zong 4G।
इनोवेटिव डाइजेस्टिव बिस्किट्स, खाएं दिल भर, मजा मन भर।
बड़ी तेजी से बनाए, दाग भी निकलेंगे तेजी से। नया सर्फ एक्सेल, 100% मुश्किल दाग निकाले ज्यादा तेज।
शादी करनी है अभी।
बेटा कबूल है।
अरे यार, मूवी डाउनलोड करो अभी। हो भी गई।
लाइफ में सब कुछ अभी विद जैज सुपर 4G, दुनिया को बता दो।
Pakistan would want it to jump to around 5.88 from 4.88 in the next few overs. That is brilliant. That is so classy from the left-hander. Talking earlier about Saeed Anwar, that had an Anwar touch to it.
A beautiful shot this, using the pace of Rabada, and it's all timing. It's the top of its bounce and he gets it in the gap, opens the face just a little bit. What is shown us here in just 5 balls that he's faced has been just fabulous. Haris Sohail, nice and deep in the crease with the spinners, working backward a square. And then also, when the gap is closed, just going to a different gap in front of square on the offside, and now against the seam. And the fast bowler has come in and is on straight away.
I expect South Africa to go a bit shorter in length against the left-hander. He's a fluent player through the offside, likes to cut, likes to drive. The moment that ball gets to the throat high, it gets a little jittery at times. Just like that. Losing his balance. Called quickly for a run. That's good running from Babar Azam, grounding his bat when he was nearing the popping crease. That's the way to do it.
Brought him back. Rabada is hoping that his star bowler can get him another wicket here and capitalize on this period of du Plessis. He tends to do that, go to him, all forms of the game.
That's the beauty. Really is well bowled. Good pace, pitching the ball up, luring him into a big drive.
When you watch Babar Azam drive, it's not often he misses them. It doesn't matter whether it's really full, whether he goes for one that's on a length, drives on the up and generally gets it through that offside a great deal. So it has to be a good one. Really good one to go past his outside edge, and that from Rabada was tops. 162 for 3.
देखना भूमिका में आपसे विश्व पाकिस्तान के लिए विकेट लूंगा।
बड़े ख्वाबों को चाहिए बड़ी हिफाजत। नया लाइफ पॉइंट केयर एंड प्रोटेक्ट।
हो जाए मुकाबला। एक को धोएंगे आपके पाउडर से, दूसरे को नए एरियल से। नया एरियल डबल एक्शन फॉर्मूला के साथ, जिससे ज्यादा हरे जर्रात सख्त दाग बेहतर निकाले सिर्फ एक दवाई में।
There was an opportunity to go hard through the offside. Just 3 men to beat. Ball in the slot really to go for that drive.
You feel the pressure building, and it's on Babar Azam. 39 from 54. Rate of scoring seems to be dropping from him, and he's the man who looks like he's going to try and get a hold of mark.
It was Rabada who did a very, very good job, because the ball was running away from his grab, from his reach. Is it a stop? Is it a clean stop? I think he's done well.
Probably have to just check if his foot is on the boundary. He's alright, I think. Yeah, I think he's right. It's just the leading foot. He gets to the rope, he bends his knee and doesn't touch it. Not whilst he has the ball. So good fielding, such an athlete, Rabada. Easy running. I should say looks easy, never is easy. It just looks so comfortable doing it. Yeah, tension each time here as Babar Azam comes to the strike.
And another chase. Big chase. Rabada, can he do it again? I'm sorry, not this time. Makram quick through the air, inside edge, and a 4.
In the mind is whether to dive or not to dive, and a split second then he thinks dive, and he thinks I won't get there. But if he doesn't put it in whilst in the circle, well, that one is I should have, as he gets to the fence. Yeah, good shots though, both of them. The first one dicey with the sweep shot, that time with the straight bat able to make it go fine.
Must feel as if it's bowled over and a half. 2 proper sprints for Rabada in Pakistan. Good over for them. 9 from it, 171 for 3.
सुपर वीकली मैच ऑफर से अब मिले 10 GB एक्स्ट्रा YouTube डेटा, यानी पूरे 25 GB इंटरनेट सिर्फ 190।
मुकाबला। एक को धोएंगे आपके पाउडर से, दूसरे को नए एरियल से। नया एरियल डबल एक्शन फॉर्मूला के साथ। रियल
Not to be.
And then he's got a bowl. Horrible.
appeared to be a pretty quick delivery for a player who has time to play. Babar Azam was very rushed. Haven't South Africa dragged this back well? It was quite a worry, I think, after 20 overs, but they've done very well in this 14-15 over period since.
It jagged back a bit as well and got extra bounce with the high arm action. 141 kilometers the previous delivery. Yeah, they pulled back, South Africans, but at this stage of the game, Pakistan needs partnership, and this is going well. 29 of 25. Haris is on 12 of 8.
Beautiful stroke. You wouldn't play it better. You could arrive in the morning and spend an hour in the nets and only hit straight drives and not play them any better than that.
What a shot from this youngster. Straight, head-on was a little wider. Just walked towards off stump. It was a middle stump ball and played it on the up. Safe shot. Look at the follow-through.
Yes, it's also a good example of when we talk about transferring your weight through the shot, isn't it?
It's really important, especially at this level. Previous delivery was sharp as well. 145 kilometers an hour, 19 miles, that's quick.
Short leg in there now, expect the short ball. There it comes, it's read by Haris Sahel, and it's dispatched.
The stadium is alive after this tremendous shot from this talented player. Haris is raced to 22 of 10 deliveries with 2, 4 and a 6. Strike rate of 220. He was short, he was wide, he gave himself a room, and bam, it's out of here.
What now? What length now? Short leg still in there. Third man square is back, bouncer. Down to fine leg it goes. These are predictable tactics that Haris Sahel is understanding.
Look at this from the meat of the bat. He's using the crease very nicely. Haris, I think on that particular delivery, maybe he was inside the crease, or maybe the delivery after. It's so important for a batsman nowadays to use that popping crease, especially in the last 10 overs for the Yorker and a full delivery.
It does appear as if Babar Azam is determined to see this thing through. It's 15 overs to bat after this, and he probably figures that Pakistan have been guilty of some collapses and therefore not making the best of their 50 overs, and he thinks that if he can be the fulcrum around which everybody else can play, he doesn't really need to throw caution to the wind for a few overs yet.
That's what exactly he should be doing, rotating the strike. They're going to settle for one good over for Pakistan. 13 runs from it, 35 gone, 184 for 3.
As Jay Malik steps out for this, his first test, and he's at the crease. He's lining up. And that's a piece of a delivery. He smashed it! And the crowd are going crazy.
Just give it a rest, will you?
And now I think it might be a good time to take a tea break.
Send money with Remitly today and get a rate that beats the market rate on your first transfer.
How's that?
Real range of cricket fan in this crowd. The members in the main pavilion, all of whom have paid for their tickets, by the way, that not part of MCC membership to get free entrance to World Cup matches. That's good 50. He's worked very hard for it. It's his second in this tournament. As I say, the job is only half done, though.
Yeah, he has to convert this into a big score. So far in this World Cup, that's his second 50 at good starts. 22nd against Windies, 63 against England, 30 against Australia, and 48 against India. And here we go on the front foot. That's what he was saying, Mark. The shifting of the weight is so important at this level. Either it's a front foot or a back foot.
Another 50 was the 63 he made against England at Trent Bridge in Pakistan's fine win. A win that we thought would spark them in the tournament, but hasn't. Maybe today will. They say it's never too late. Well, let's just say both teams have left it close.
They did, definitely did. Hassan Ali is not playing today. Shaheen Shafridis came into his place for Pakistan.
Yes, Hassan Ali would be a banker, wouldn't he, normally in one-day cricket, and for whatever reason he hasn't found anything like his form of a year ago.
He's having a tough time, Hassan Ali, this year in this World Cup. I suppose in one-day. Oh, another pull shot.
Going back, won't get to him. Sarfaraz, Pakistan's captain, is slated to come in next. Then Imad Wasim, Shadab Khan, all good stroke makers. There's no reason in 15 overs here of impressive batting that they shouldn't get to that 300 mark. 8 in over from this point in, very doable.
Building the ball nicely, Haris. 24 of 13. Not having a great World Cup, Hassan Ali. He played 4 matches and he got 2 wickets, averaging 128. So hence the reason he's sitting on the bench, I suppose. But he's young, he can learn. 7.76 economy rate, 1 for 67 is best. And 2 years ago he was the highest wicket taker in ICC Champions Trophy, and he's still young. I think it's a different conditions here in England.
Oh, so much back dropped onto that ball. Oh, that shot away. This is just quietly a little game changer being built by Haris Sohail.
Mickey Arthur and the captain Sarfaraz rates him really high, and look at this shot. He just opened his face to create a gap between the third man and a point fielder. A very difficult shot to play, but he made it look very easy.
Well, yes, the bowler knows there. You'd remember this. You know that the angles work in a left-hander's favour. He's furious for just drifting a foot wider than he wanted to. Particularly as all the slope. It's not just the natural angles, right-hand bowler to left-hand batsman, but it's the Lord's slope. All in the batsman's favour if the ball's that line. And so he straightens up this ball. 191 for 3.
Now, if you see yourself on the big screen, you know what to do. Take as much noise as you can. Big celebrations. Royal Stags, make it large.
I wonder if Baba has a little problem. He's taken a tablet. Headache or something, or dehydration, I don't know, but
probably dehydration, I reckon. And it can happen. It can happen at this level. The stress levels are so high, the pressure. Being a main batsman of his team, everybody relies on him.
Did you feel that? It's such an interesting point. Looking at you all through your career from afar, it looked as if you always felt free to express yourself. But did you feel that tension?
Yeah, I did. I felt it. I'm a human end of the day. I felt it. But I think I just overcome it because I wanted to go out and enjoy myself. I know this guy.
Yes, Mike Proctor behind Alan Lamb. Steve Elworthy to the left of Alan Lamb. Siddharth Wettamuni to the right of Alan Lamb. Oh, bold. Believe me, there's more superstars in that. That's the MCC President's box. This year's President Anthony Reeford, who's had a long association with MCC. That's Mike Rutherford, Genesis, and the band Mike and the Mechanics. Siddharth just to the left there. Dave Rundle, South African off-spinner, in the middle of picture. Barry Richards to the left of picture.
Lemmy must be sorting out his dinner tonight. Going Lemmy. Nicely played again for single.
Yeah, the president wanted to make this a day for as many friends of MCC who have relationships with South Africa and Pakistan, and he's done just that. That's the South African side.
I mean, he looked really good today, Harris. Intent was there when he came out to bat. He only faced 16 deliveries. He raced to his 29 and 51 partnership, 51 runs partnership of 39 deliveries. A much needed partnership for Pakistan. 194 for 3. 7 wickets in hand after this, 13 more overs to be bowled.
Hurry, they hurry, okay. If you go, if you hit it, drop it really, not hit it, just drop it. Get the hands nice and soft. The ball won't travel far enough for any of these fielders saving one to trouble you as long as you go straight away. So there's not just good stroke play, but intelligent cricket as well from this pair, who have now put on 52 in 41 balls. .195 for 3.
4 runs from the over. What a spell he bowled early on, and this one as well. 8 overs, 29 for 2. Imran Tahir. The pick of the bowlers, of course, Imran Tahir. 2 for 29 and 8.
Pick of the bowlers, pick of the celebrations.
Miles ahead of everyone, that's for sure.
The one who I would say perhaps hasn't been quite at his best is Kahisa Rabada. Not that he's bowled poorly, just that he hasn't, I thought it once or twice in the tournament, quite perhaps had his usual zip. That can happen, can't it? You know, you can't necessarily explain bowling rhythm and form.
You really can't. One good spell, one good over, one important wicket can get you back into the rhythm, gives you back the confidence you required personally as a player.
It's an odd thing about bowling too, is it? The harder you try, the harder it gets.
Exactly, exactly. You've got to let it go. You've got to be calm. And you should be knowing your plans as a bowler. What plan A, plan B, plan C.
It's a bit of a sort of a fable in cricket nowadays, but I think it's true, is it, that in 1992, when you were having the no ball problems, Imran saying to you, don't worry about no balls, just bowl quick and take wickets, took all that strain off you.
He didn't tell me. It was game, before the game I was having a breakfast in the morning, and I saw this newspaper, and you know, as we sportsmen, we go straight to the sports news. Back of the page, back of the newspaper, it was a massive headline that Pakistani captain wants his bowler Wasim Akram to bowl fast, and he shouldn't be worried about his no balls and white balls. And that gave me a lot of confidence as a bowler that I can run in without, you know, when you're bowling so many wides or no balls, your pace comes down a bit because you try to control the ball.
Because you're concentrating on that, not on bowling.
Exactly.
Yeah. And did you go and confirm it with him? It would have been unfortunate if the journalist had written a dodgy story and Imran had never said it at all.
No, Imran told me after the World Cup there was him. He actually wanted to send me a message.
Babar Azam is easy on the eye. He plays in straight lines. His cutting of the ball is exquisite. Nice high elbow, orthodox technique. Terrific to watch.
very compact. He plays all around the ground.
Certainly there's nowhere that Barber is weak. Sean Pollock's with us.
Yeah, Harris Suhail, he's come to the crease. It's a bit of a pressure cooker for South Africa out there. Have a look at the field sets. Short leg in place, slip in place. They want KG to bowl a short ball. Watch the reaction of the keeper and the first slip after this. Frustration. We've got the short leg in place. Why are you not bowling it short? KG goes back and says, hold on, don't have a dig at me now. I'm just trying to maybe think of a different plan. And then, unfortunately, after that discussion, you know exactly where the next ball is going to be. Harris Sale gives himself room almost before the delivery's bowled and whacks it over backward point for 6. And the reaction of the players, they don't look at each other after that.
So, who's right and wrong there?
Well, Waz will back me up on this one. There's nothing worse when you get a reaction of the keeper or someone behind the stumps. You're trying your best. Maybe you've thought as you run up, listen, I'm going to go for the double bluff, or I'm going to try something different. When you get your keeper and your captain with a big reaction afterwards, it is frustrating. He knows he's messed up, and he looks and he goes, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Your blood's boiling for the fact that it's gone to the boundary, and when the reaction of the guys from behind tends to rub you up the wrong way. So I understand the reaction of KG.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's sometimes it can be very frustrating and annoying when you're trying your best and suddenly the wicketkeeper reacts. What a shot! He waited for it, and played it late. And that brings up to 100 for Pakistan in 38th over.
You won't ever see Cutthroat played better or more pertinently later. I mean, this might have been pocketed by first slip, certainly by second. Wait, go.
If you see, Mark, the ball came from the middle of the bat, not the edge, because I worked with him in PSL this year in Karachi Kings team, and this guy practiced that shot every time. That's a go-to shot. If you want to rotate a strike, you play that shot and go at the other end.
And the consequence of it is the bowler to straighten up, get it wrong, slide it leg side, bang bang boundaries. 206 for 3 from 38.
Calling everyone in Bristol. Come to Pepe's and try Pepe's chicken rice. Tantalizing strips of grilled chicken, finished in a flavor of your choice. Visit us in Bristol. Love fresh, love tasty, love Pepe's.
The Casper mattress, delivered in a box. Developed by a dedicated engineering team. Dreamt on by you. Try it for 100 nights, risk-free at Casper.com.
Well, they're still on for this 300, 8 over, fine. Very doable. 12 left, plenty of batting in hand, some good ball strikers, and 2 batsmen in and set anyway who were put on 63 and 48.
Yeah, 8 and over from there, from here onwards. Another good shot, another boundary. He's in brilliant nick. Harris Suhail, what a shot against the spin.
Fancy having left this bloke out of the side. Come on, Waz. What are the selectors thinking about?
Look at the balance there. He knew what he was doing. What a bad delivery. He was little wide, but he knew where the fielder was on the boundary offside.
Yeah, nice bit of lag there at the top of the bat swing. Ball tossed up outside off stump, and he just held his position and then whoosh.
Good call, sensible call from Babar. No need to take a risk. Partnership is building up. 67 or 50. You're looking good, Pakistan team here. 210 for 3 in 39 overs.
I mean, noticeable how very straight Imran Tahir has bowled today. As we look down on Lords from the nursery ground, where there is an indoor school, a great entertainment pavilion, and the ECB offices. And we look over Imran Tahir's shoulder from that angle as he bowls a wide to Babar Azam down to the old pavilion. More than, well, 205 years this place has been operational. 205 years. These stands either side of the media centre are being knocked down in the winter, and a new structure is coming up to provide a state-of-the-art facility where these Edrich and Compton stands are.
.213 for 3.
There we go, the guitar riffs play out as has been the case at every match. This is Eric Clapton's Layla.
Your daughter's name, Mark?
My daughter's name, correct.
How old is she now, 13?
Persian name, isn't it? 13 she is.
Yeah.
And it's, she's spelled L-E-I-L-A though, not L-A-Y-L-A as in this song. Mike Rutherford on the left of picture, he can play a mean riff himself. So mainly a bassist, but plays a bit of rhythm and lead. And Dile Paklakoyo, who's bowled 5 overs, none for 22 at the moment. This is a challenge for him now. He has great changes of pace. Oh, and he's got a bit unlucky first ball. He could easily have done Bubba there.
I know that's his go-to shot, but that's against the fast bowlers. The guy, a bowler with variation, you got to be very careful, especially with the inside edge onto the stumps.
Interesting to see his grip, huh? The ball right at the end of the fingers. Lovely, huh?
Yeah, it comes out slightly slower than you expect. Sometimes there's a new ball called knuckleball as well.
'92 was a golden year for you, for Imran's dream fulfilled, but really so important for Pakistan cricket, I think, for the game worldwide too, giving it that global breadth that it received in '83 when India won at West Indies in '75 and '79. What a day.
What a day for Pakistan and Pakistan cricket. Mushi, Inzi, Javed Bhai, Salim Malik, Iqbal Sikandar, Wasim Haider. Another good shot, little finer, probably settled for one.
First 3 finals were all at Lords, then in India, and then the first World Cup that was played in Australia was that one in '92. And you know, you'd had a bad start to the tournament, you began to find your mojo and reached fever pitch come that final. 1 or 2 things went your way, as they have to do on a big occasion, and then you, sir, closed the deal.
Absolutely, and I think, thank you, Mark, but the way we started, like you just said, we lost against the Windies, the first World Cup game by 10 wickets, then we lost against South Africa, practice game against Sri Lanka, if I remember, and I got this man out as well, Lammy.
Yeah, and very good run chaser too. So Lammy was your main threat. He and Neil Fairbrother, renowned for their ability in a run chase. And you got Lammy with one of the great balls.
And Lammy was the best player in the world at the time in one-day cricket, and so was Neil Fairbrother. This is the scorecard of this historic game.
Yeah, the bloke second after Imran there, Javed Miandad, not a bad one-day player.
One of the greats off the game, not just greats of Pakistan, greats in world cricket, on and off the field. He's middling it nicely.
Absolutely astonishing natural talent for cricket. Not always orthodox, but natural and adventurous and fantastic player.
He was a street fighter. He could
pick
up a fight on the field
yeah.
with anyone, never got scared of any bowler. that was his class, and very intelligent. You know, or just on his feet, he had to make decision, he will do it.
Well run. Just spotted Amner on his heels at mid-off and took full advantage. Yes, I suppose you had the right combination of characters and personalities in that side, didn't you? Some understated people and some very overstated people, Javed amongst them.
Yeah, and our captain, he was injured, but what he did was, off the field, he was putting in a mind that we're going to win this World Cup, we're going to win this World Cup, we're going to win this World Cup. And finally, when the things started working for us, we believed that we're going to win this one. The belief was very important at the time. And imagine when we went to play New Zealand, the round game, the 8th game, we'll come back to this after the over, 217 for 3. No, there's one more delivery. So we arrived in New Zealand. They won 7 out of 7, and ours was the last game against them. So we had to win this game against New Zealand at Christchurch. And I think Ramiz got 100, and I've got 4 wickets, so we won that game comfortably. And then we knew we can beat New Zealand at home.
Terrible disappointment for Martin Crowe and for all New Zealanders who were so near and yet so far. It was a well thought through campaign from New Zealand. A lot of interesting cricketers in their side, and
Martin Crowe was the one who started this trend to bowl in first 15 overs, the new ball by a spinner, if I remember.
Deepak Patel,
yes. And it worked.
And also to unleash Mark Greatbatch at the top of the order, to say, you know, go, they now call it a pinch hitting role, but it's not quite true to say that Sanat Jayasuri and Ramesh Kalaratana were the first to ever do it, because actually Mark Greatbatch, who yes was a specialist batsman, but so was Sanat, really did have, you know.
And Sanat batted at number 5 or 6 in Test cricket when he came into, when he came into Sri Lankan side. That again was a new trend in '92 when Mark Greatbatch came out and started hitting in first 15 overs.
It was always about having wickets in hand, wasn't it? Building at 3 and over.
And imagine our captain made the biggest decision. World Cup semi-final day before the game, or a couple of days before the game, he said he'll bat at number 3 because the top order was struggling. So that's how you lead from the front. You see, with 2 new balls, batting at number 3. I did ask him, I said, the reason, skipper, the reason? He said, the reason is I'll try to block and see off the new ball. And that's what exactly happened in the finals. He got 70 odd, he just blocked, him and great Javed Miandad. And it gave us, me and Inzamam, the platform in the last 5 to 6 overs to just go crazy, I suppose.
Babar Azam has certainly played not an Imran-like innings, but certainly has resolved to spend time at the crease and allow everybody else to play around him. He has 66 from 77 balls. This is Haris Sahel on strike, who's gone really well. 39 in 28 balls, 4 fours, and a memorable 6 over backward point.
It's a huge learning curve for Babar Azam, how to finish off the innings. We've seen him very talented, very consistent with his runs, but from some odd reason he's not kind of finishing the games, even batting first or batting second. What is finishing the game is when you bat first, to at least go till the 47th, 48th over. Let Haris take the charge. Let Haris be the aggressor.
.41 gone, it's 222 for 3.
Imran to here, 10 overs, no maidens, 41 runs and 2 wickets.
Well, Pakistan ahead in terms of the phases that they've won in this game. Imran Tahir had something to say about it in the middle of the innings. Well, 9 more overs to go. Can Pakistan add another phase victory? Oh, it's having a go. Is Babar? Has he got enough on it? Just a little bit greasy in front of the pavilion. But that, Pommy, was a real sign of intent.
Yeah, and percentage as well as mid-off, mid-on, up, and he feels you can't crowd me, I'm going to go at you. Slower delivery, and there's a slip from Dumini as he's trying to turn and throw quickly. On another day that goes up and it's out. Not so today.
Oh, going again. Not enough on it this time. Gone. Massive wicket for South Africa in this final power play. Baba on his way.
Yeah, decides he also needs to try and get on with things, Babar Azam. He'd been dragged nicely in terms of the partnership by Haris Sohail. And the intent shown the ball before, and it's a grimace because it'll hurt him just when he felt he could kick on for his side. Perhaps a touch early. He's gone for 69. Always good to watch him bat. Pakistan 2-2-4 for 4.
Calling everyone in High Wycombe. Come to Pepe's and try. Pepe's Chicken Rice. Tantalizing strips of grilled chicken, finished in a flavor of your choice. Visit us in High Wycombe. Love fresh, love tasty, love Pepe's.
The Simba mattress survives the most rigorous testing because you do more in bed than just sleep.
Hilton Garden Inn, you did it again. This omelet is even better than yesterday.
That's what you said yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Same time tomorrow.
Can I get a little more coffee?
Oh, of course.
HiltonGardenInn.com.
Imad Wasim then. And it was a really important breakthrough for South Africa to get with Baba and Haris Sohail having scored reasonably rapidly together. A partnership of 81 off 68. Imad Wasim playing in his 3rd match of this World Cup. He's at the non-strikers end though. That's well bowled.
Yeah, the wicket of Babar Azam, yes, much needed by South Africa, but could ill afford this Pakistan and would have liked the partnership to go on. 81 from 68, as you say, Ali, but in essence at the start of the partnership, Babar Azam is kind of struggling to keep going, and it's Haris Sohail who drags him and sort of looks after him by the way that he scores so quickly. 40 from 30 he is now.
Really delicately played. 3rd man was wide. No slips in place. It's a fantastic touch.
And it's been the touch right from the start. He walked in and he played against the spin, where he was deep in the crease and finding gaps, just easily finding gaps. Then against the seamers, able to hit through the offside front and back foot. And he's continuing on here, 44 from 31. He really is playing some gem. And in Babar Azam's struggles, he managed to just drag him out of it, buy him some time, and then in the chats and so forth, allow him to find his fluency once again.
Thought about running on the misfield. With this the wicket, we'd seen Baba advance to Peklequayo the ball before, trying to go big again.
Yeah, looking down the ground, and it isn't in control at all. Opens the face of the blade, doesn't quite get to the ball, which in the end is his problem, so it goes square.
It'll just be the one. So wicket taking over, and Pakistan 229 for 4.
Going 1 for 33 from his 7. There'll be much discussion amongst the South Africans how it is that they'll sort out these 8 that remain. But for Pakistan, Haris Sohail's the man.
You can see those spikes of scoring and the pace of scoring. The rate stepped up when Haris Sohail came out and joined Babar Azam. Yeah, just a little bit of concern at this stage, but just waiting to see what Pakistan can push on up to with 8 more overs to go. Feels very much as if this innings and the match situation is still in the balance in terms of who you're going to sense is on top at the end of this innings. Chris Morris returning. Can Morris be the man to dislodge Haris Sohail? Well, Ariel have to do well to cut that off, and does well. And Gidi down on that boundary.
Following him everywhere, and it's not as if, and he's -10 in the field, it's not as if the ball that's going to him each time has him just pick up and throw it back. He's having to run, turn, sprint everywhere, and after that injury, not so easy.
Oh, just sliding across the left-hander. Well, valuable runs, all of these for Pakistan. Haris on to 47. But that was poor from Morris. Now off the pad. Leg byes.
It's the ball before that does it, and Morris is upset with himself, but having bowled what he thought was a good ball, it gets work to third man, and he's wondering if he's going to go for 4 if he stays out there. Gets too straight.
Full toss. And coming back for the second.
An inspired selection, a change in the team. Haris Sohail, the way he's played, couldn't have dreamt that he'd play as well as he is, but he's been absolutely brilliant. Just touch, able to use a little bit of force here and there, cutting. Rabada for 6. Shakib Al Hassani's having a fabulous tournament.
Is Haris Sohail on 49? Ah, bumper. Well, only his second World Cup match, Haris Sohail. But yeah, talking about the batsmen who have been in form, and Joe Root, racking up the hundreds as well. But batsmen which go about things in very different ways as well. And we've seen an array of different ways of scoring runs. Joe Root with real deft touch and classy strokes.
All up towards the top of the order, 1, 2 and 3. As you'd expect, I guess, and you want somebody up at the top to score a lot of runs, and then your team will have runs on the board.
Well, that'll be the 50. Beautifully lifted away by Haris Sohail. And what a job he is doing for his country. The pressure is on Pakistan and Haris Sohail is responding.
His 11th one-day international 50, Haris Sohail, and it's been some knock. A gem, really. He came in, and at the time that he comes in, the rate of scoring is probably just a little above 4.5. Since his introduction, they've managed to up the ante, and now scoring at just above 5.5. So top work, and I'd love for him to go all the way in here.
Oh, he's having to get a wriggle on. Oh, a direct hit surely would have done it. And it's 2-4, 2-4.
As Jay Malik steps out for this, his first test, and he's at the crease. He's lining up. And that's a piece of a delivery.
He smashed it! And the crowd are going crazy.
Jay
Just give it a rest, will you?
And now I think it might be a good time to take a tea break.
Send money with Remitly today and get a rate that beats the market rate on your first transfer.
How's that?
The 13 runs off that last over, that's the spike. And Haris Sohail's 50 off just 38 balls. South Africa have a little bit of a headache now to think how can they contain him. 7 overs left in the innings for Pakistan to push on up above the 280 mark, get as close to 300 as they can. And with Haris Sohail here, you think they've got every chance. South Africa need to be rid of him. A bit of width. And we'll just be thinking, right, we do have a new batsman. He's at the other end though, we need to get him on strike.
Yeah, just trying to think about after this one, he's got 6 du Plessis to try and work out who he's going to go with in terms of the bowling. Well, Petrugayo will still have 2 more. Probably use him. Rabada's got a couple more. And Morris, I don't know if he'll go back to Ngidi. I think he wants to. But with the way he's kind of running around the field, it seems hampered. Ideally, of course, he would want to go to Ngidi, and so yeah, that's the bowling that's left. So 2 for Rabada, he'll use those. Yeah, Ngidi's bowled just a 6. Morris has got 2 more. Yeah, he's good with his Yorkers some of the time when he gets them right.
Now Imran advancing, first ball he's faced, and it'll be 4. That's a sign of a confident looking batsman.
A really good strike, and that's all he's after, whether he goes aerial or along the ground. Advances early, and then yeah, once he strikes it, it's a little wide, so he can go through the offside, and if it was straight, he'd be looking to go up top over the bowler's head, and that's pushed back.
Yeah, he's got hold of that.
Yeah, pushed back mid-off and mid-on. Yeah, that's right out the middle. Right at the top of its bounce as well. It's on a length. Doesn't mind that. And they've created the platform, set it quite nicely, courtesy of the partnership for the 4th wicket. And now must make sure that they capitalise, must be aggressive.
Oh, this could be trouble. Oh, well, I don't think he read it. He was coming in off the boundary. And it's gone over the top. 6 signalled.
It probably would have still been quite difficult had he stayed on the boundary, J.P. Duminy. But he starts to run in as this is coming towards him. And then he's got to try and backtrack. Total misjudgment. You see him trying to go back. You see him trying to go back. And if he's on the boundary, perhaps. But it was a tough catch.
Slow ball, he's waited for that one, smeared away, but he's found the gap. Oh, the crowd are loving this onslaught. 16 runs off the over, huge for Pakistan, who are 258 for 4.
This is just what the doctor ordered if you are Pakistan. A good start up at the front. Things slowed down in the middle, and they've picked it up once again and going into overdrive.
.65 for Haris Sohail of 43 balls. This has been the standout innings. Yes, he built runs in partnership with Babar Azam, but he has given this Pakistan innings real impetus. And it is Chris Morris who Faf du Plessis is turning to again. Morris from the nursery end. Oh, good wrists. There's a man there. Just the one.
Difficulties at the death for South Africa. His partnership is 35 from 17. And having set the platform, Pakistan making sure that they're going aggressively. Ahmad Wasim has come in as the license to just play shots. He's been sent in because he does like to give it a whack. And Haris Sohail just needs to continue on with the way he has been playing. If it goes any harder.
That's a good ball, right at the base of the stumps.
Yeah, it's good work by Morris, and so important for South Africa to have the plans right and trying to work out how they're going to prevent these left-handers from getting to the fence. And with the corners quite long here, you want to be really full, and you want to be forcing these two batsmen to be hitting down the ground. And so it screams out bowl Yorkers at them.
Two men underneath it. Oh, and a miss from Imran Tahir. Oh, Chris Morris. And his hands on his hips. The ball was in the air, was travelling towards that grandstand. Imran Tahir coming in off the boundary. Probably his to go for.
You're having to run across, and yet, horrible visions of them smashing into each other then. In the end, it's a bit of a stretch to try and take the catch, and a stretch also to make sure it doesn't go over the rope.
Big thick edge. Oh, and the effort. Oh, he can't fault the effort. But then they couldn't stop it. 71 of 46 now for Haris Sohail.
You look at it and you probably say, oh, a little bit unlucky here in how this is just out of reach there, and the edges that are going off to the fence. But it's indicative of where both teams are, with Pakistan having set themselves up so nicely. They just go at it, and they'll throw their bat at absolutely everything. And yes, the luck's running, but they've earned it to this point.
Again off the legs. Be just one. Now what does Chris Morris do? One more ball in the over. 8 runs have come already. Does he try to spear in another Yorker? Imad Wazim is the batsman on strike.
Mid off into the circle. And so, and fine leg back and long ons back as well. So any sort of length that's not really full and at base probably of leg stump, he'll be looking to go over mid off. Might well give himself some room too.
Instead dragging it onside. But another good over for Pakistan, 266 for 4.
Sky Store. 3 good reasons to stay in this June.
Toothless has a girlfriend.
We have to fight for their freedom. Oh my gosh.
The Rock.
For you fans, nobody's gonna watch a timid little British girl wrestle.
You're gonna be a star, babe.
People who take in foster kids are really special.
Thanks, Dad.
Running than chasing the ball, I can tell you that. He'll bowl a lot of slower balls, that's what he generally does, and also will look into that block hole.
Pulled away. Oh, and over the top. Another 6 for Haris Sohail, moves him on to 78. Yes, Imran Tahir was posted on that mid-wicket boundary. They placed it brilliantly between deep mid-wicket and long on, who's back as well.
$80-meter hit. I tell you, it's no surprise. He's absolutely laced it from the time he's walked out there. Hit the middle of the bat. And normally, you say, with a team that's got top 4 that has got some sort of start and not continued, you'd be crying out saying, oh, somebody needed to bat on. But so good has this not been by Haris Sohail, 79 from 50, and he's picking the pace up as he goes too. He dragged Babar Azam out of his little slump, and since then they've just carried on going, and South Africa's got no answers here.
Up down the ground. That's been well saved. Good bit of teamwork. Didn't move the throw. And it's a 50 partnership between these two. Off just 26 balls. Brilliant stuff for Pakistan. This is now the second fastest 50 partnership of the tournament. And now suddenly 300 is well in their sights. Waited. Big gap there, of course. Look how far Imran Tahir has to run in from the boundary. Really good cricket.
Yeah, fabulous batting. Think back to earlier in the over, the 6. Tahir is told by the bowler, Ngidi, to say, listen, you need to go onto the boundary. They're trying to smash it. And here we are, fifth ball, just nudged into the vacant space, and they know two's available and take it comfortably. Really good batting.
He's out of his ground. Another big over. I've said that a lot of late. 11 off it, 277 for 4. Oh, it's been a lively crowd, that's for sure. Livened up in the last half an hour or so. The way Harris Sahale has been batting. Grandstand, Compton Edgeridge stands. Well, there's a sea of green, isn't it? Whether you're supporting Pakistan or South Africa, it's just a different shade. But I'll tell you what, the noise has all been from the Pakistan fans.
Returning bowling and pedestrian number 25, Kagiso Rabada.
Rabada has 2 more overs left. Got to find a wicket to stem this torrent of runs.
Yeah, find the wicket of Harris Sahale. I think it's the way.
Safe from Tahir this time. Tell you what, Pommy, though, as Harris Sahale's on to 80. If he does manage to make it to 3 figures, he'll get his name up on the honours boards in the away dressing room, because not only, of course, honours boards known here for centuries or 5 wickets in a test innings, or indeed 10 in a test match. Recently, honours boards for one-day internationals been introduced as well, which of course means achievements by women in ODIs as well are on those honours boards. Like Sarfraz Ahmed, 100 here in 2016, would have gone up on that board. Well bowled and dug out. Will they run for 2? They are pushing for 2. Good communication between the two. You speak to any player about playing at Lord's and they always mention the history, and you've played in test match here as well. Being in the dressing room and seeing all those names on those honours boards would be quite something if Harris Sahale can get his name up there. Followed him, and he's got it away. Yes, he has. 4 more for Imran Wazim this time.
Everything just a little bit off for South Africa. Ever so slight. Too much to the left, too much to the right. And the ball evading those on the fence. Yeah, to the eye of Rabada, who feels, well, that's just gone down to fine leg. Should be a single at best, and it's gone for 4.
Full toss. Brings Chris Morris into play.
Yeah, there's not really been a consistency of where the ball is as far as the bowlers are concerned. And that last bit in this last 10 overs, they've been so good, Pakistan, in applying the pressure and therefore getting deliveries to hit in various areas, not in one area per se. And bowling at this stage, South Africa would hope that they could come up with a plan that says, right, make them hit in this direction and then protect that boundary.
He's got the deft touch as well as the power shots. We've got 4 in the ring on the offside here for Imad. Big gaps through the on. He's sliding down leg again, off the pad though. Just the one. And that's the over, 287 for 4. Regent's Park, Pommy. Have you been down that boating lake? How's your rowing skills?
Not interested. I'll row in the gym.
They've got pedalays, you know. You don't have to row. There are pedalays as well. It's a wonderful way to spend a sunny afternoon. Not as good though as being in the cricket ground just nearby. Just about make out the London Eye on the top right of the picture there. On Gidi. Just the one. We're up there somewhere in the media centre. Spaceship style building. It's really added to this ground, which is evolving all the time. Not as quickly as his Harris Sahel innings has evolved though. A little bit of width.
Yeah, I'll say again, it's been absolutely fantastic, Harris Sahel, the way that he has played. As you watch these shots that he's played, you'll notice that just about everything has come out of the middle, the absolute middle on the bat. Anything he's wanted to do, wherever he's wanted to maneuver the ball, he's been able to find gaps.
Yeah, going after everything.
I like this from Gidi. The length's got to be much fuller. The field that he's set also with fine leg up and a square leg and then a deep mid-wicket and long on says that yes, looking for Yorkers and trying to get both these lefties, Imad Wasim and Harris Sahel, to hit towards those men on the fence. If he's bowling wide of off as well, then they have to fetch it to try and get it fine.
Full toss.
Yeah, that works. You're happy with that. Get them hitting down the ground. That's where it's longest. I've tended to go away from it and experiment, turn up with the slower ball, which then allows the batsman to access the square boundaries, and he'll clear those any day.
Just 4 singles at the moment represents something of a victory for Ngidi, the way the run of play has been. Oh, that one surely will go all the way. Yes, it will. Straight as a die. First boundary off the over. 8 from it with 1 more ball to come.
Doing the job as Imad Wasim. Yeah, nice one to get though, a full toss. Yeah, good placement to get it over the bowler's head.
Untaken. JP Duminy coming in off the boundary. It's Imad Wasim who's out. They would have loved it to have been Harris Sahel. Any wicket at this stage, he's going to help the South African cause.
It's a brilliant catch, this. Looking to go big. go for maximum with each one, and Duminy has got to put the skates on to get off the boundary and get in as it's dipping and dying on him. And it takes it just inches off the ground. Imad Wasim, job done, 23 from 15. Pakistan 295 for 5.
Introducing new Aviva Plus car insurance. We've cut down the questions, so you get a quick quote, not a quiz. Come direct to aviva.co.uk.
Let me take you to a place like no place on earth. A world where football reigns. And only the strongest, fastest and most skillful conquer. Fans from all nations will come together in amazing stadiums that erupt like incredible volcanoes. Discover our newest destination, the FIFA Women's World Cup, France 2019.
But when you've been scoring runs at the rate of knots, still got 5 wickets in hand and 2 overs left, you get Wahab Riaz to come out. He can hit the ball very hard and very far. He'll be looking to have a bit of fun if he can and get Pakistan up and beyond 300. Fine leg has come up, long on dropping back. Mid off being brought up inside the circle now.
Yeah, whilst he's in and will throw his bat, minimum 12 runs here because you have 12 deliveries available, but if things can keep going the way they've done it, yeah, I would love it to kind of be 30 about there.
It's a good ball though, he's done well to dig it out. Could be a couple.
And it proves particularly important, making sure that they finish off things at the back end. So look at the wicket to fall, a really good catch. At some distance to cover, is right on the rope when this starts. And it's dying on him, Duminy. And he's got to get there and also put the dive in. Yeah, well done. Well done also to Imad Wasim. Looking a bit straighter.
Oh, that's a good take in the end from Quinton de Kock. Well, we saw Fakhar Zaman attempt to scoop off the spin of Tahir earlier on in the day, and it resulted in his demise. True goalkeeping style. Harris Sahel back on strike then. Barda asking then for mid-off to come up, as you can see on the graphic. Square leg going back. Oh, well bowled. Following him. Takes Pakistan to 299. And South Africa have only twice been asked to chase scores in excess of 300 this World Cup, first against England and then Bangladesh, and they fell short on both occasions. Bangladesh posting 330 in South Africa's second game of the tournament. South Africa made 309 in that match. With thick outside edge to be safe though.
Yeah, and this is why I'm on about the importance of trying to finish this off. And finish it off well. 300's come up now for Pakistan. Top knocks. Imad Wasim did well, having been put in to come and try and further up the ante and help Harris Sohail. Did that. Wahab Riaz has now walked in as well, and they must make sure they don't waste any deliveries. And whilst you might be happy with 300, it's not necessarily too difficult for many teams. It's well bowled. It's well followed, and he's done well in the end to get out the way to evade getting a blow Haris Sahel.
Well, it floored him, or rather he floored himself, but well followed Rabada.
Don't you worry, it floored him. He doesn't hit the deck, he's taking a blow there. And I'm happy that's not a wide. It's well bowled.
Chipped away, just far enough in front of Chris Morris. Oh, pained look from Rabada. With 9 off that over, 304 for 5.
I'll say it again. Just a little this way, just a little that way. Look where this, it's agonizingly close. As the bowler, as this goes up in the air, you're thinking, oh, catch. And if it's not caught, you're thinking, well, at least he'll get there, it won't go to the fence. But it's a few yards, couple of yards. And yeah, that's the look from Rabada. Morris can't get to it, and off it goes for 4.
Carl McDermott is the new groundsman at Lords, taking over from Mick Hunt, who spent 49 years here. And he's now prepared this pitch for a World Cup. Not a bad assignment to have in your first season in the job.
You'll be happy with what's happened here today. It's a good pitch, this. Final over then.
Got him! And Gidi gets Wahab Riaz. Importance of the final over is just try and put the brakes on whenever you can.
It's a slower delivery and it's way through the shot. Wahab Riaz looking for big hits, that's why he was sent out there, and Lungi Ngidi can smile. Gone for 4. Pakistan 304 for 6. Yeah, 2 in a row then for Lungi Ngidi. Last ball of his previous over, and he gets a wicket with the first ball of this one. So on a hat-trick, they're looking to play big shots. He'll be right at the stumps. And might well get this. There was one yesterday. Mohammad Shami into the side and to India's side, and he gets 3 at the back end.
Yeah, Shami's was the 10th hat-trick in World Cup history. Sarfraz facing a hat-trick ball. It's a slower one. No hat-trick for this South Africa team today, but 2 valuable wickets at the back end of the innings.
Yeah, top catch. And then a slower ball to make it 2 in a row for Lungi Ngidi. Insensible from Sarfraz, who walks in, and instead of trying to go for the big hits himself, he's been pushed down the order because that's not his game. That's not how he's not most efficient going that way. Here's a man who's played absolute gem, a top knock, and skipper's given him the strike, and he'll be looking for the fence here.
Morris is there. They'd either be hoping to find the fence or pick up 2 to retain the strike. Just the 1, so back to the captain. Does Sarfraz have a dart? Or does he opt for the single and let Haris Sahel take the last few balls of the innings? Well, he's having a go. Just the 1. So Haris Sahel will have 2 balls. He's on 89. Can't possibly get 100, can he, Pommy?
Yes, he can. with the way that he's played today, with the way he's hit it, you wouldn't bet against it, I tell you.
He's surveying this field. Balcony urging him on. Here we go. It's on 89. Oh, he's having a go, but he's top-edged it. And a comfortable catch for Quinton de Kock. No 100 for Haris Sohail, but what an innings to get Pakistan up and over the 300 mark. It's been quite brilliant to watch.
What a knock. Good Slowy. Through the shot, looking for that square boundary, looking for 6, top edge, and it's comfortable for Quinton de Kock, who takes a few steps back. But this knock from Haris Sohail right from the onset, the middle of the bat, to get his 89 from 59. So well played. It's 307 for 7.
A few more people in the Lord's long room now to acknowledge that innings from Haris Sohail. So Shadab has one ball to face here, if it's a legitimate delivery, of course. Here comes Ngidi. Oh, the direct hit will do it, or not even. Oh, I think he dropped the ball.
Yeah, we'll go upstairs to check. He might well have dropped it. In two minds whether to